Chelsea have done it. Chelsea have hijacked the Mudryk deal. He's off to Stamford Bridge. In fact, as I'm recording this, I think he's on a plane to complete his medical. 7.5-year deal. 100 million euros they're spending. And they're languishing in 10th. Yes, there's going to be a little bit of pettiness sprinkled throughout this video because I'm an Arsenal fan who has seen his club miss out on their top target. So Chelsea fans get used to it. But I'm going to try and be fair. I'm going to try and be level-headed. I'm going to try and talk about this as clearly as I can. I want to look at this from all parties. I want to look at where this leaves Chelsea, where this leaves Graham Potter, what it means for Todd Boehly. Let's start on Todd Boehly because I've been quite nice. I've been trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. I made a video on this very channel when Tuchel was sacked saying, well, hold on, did they have a point? And I looked at all that. And I I've tried to sort of give him the benefit of the doubt with João Felix. He's trying to give, Chelsea the best chance maybe of doing something this season. And he's brought in Graham Potter, and I think that's a smart move. And, he's giving him players to do what he can. And, I think Todd Boehly's really trying to show that he cares for this club and he's trying to do what he can. But, my tone changed a little bit today. Not because Arsenal lost out on a target. And by the way, I'll talk about the Arsenal side of things on AFTV. My tone changes because when your transfer strategy is just to look at what your neighbour's doing and go, oh, they want him, oh, we'll have him. It's the equivalent of copying your friend's work, your friend's homework in class. It is the most shameless approach to transfers I've ever seen in my life. It's, that club who are doing well want him. Well, let's just offer more. Let's just outbid him. Let's just let money talk. Which, look, money is, it's a problem in the game. It's the Premier League has benefited massively from its financial power, and other league. I'm probably feeling a little bit what other leagues are feeling about the Premier League in general. But Chelsea can just come in, flex their financial might, and just get whoever they want. When they've not been targeting these players, I think that's the key thing here. They weren't really targeting Mudryk till about a week or 2 weeks ago. They throw the money at it, they bring him in, and they got a player here who was posting on his story about wanting to join Arsenal on several occasions, was doing a lot to show everyone, this is the move I want. Get me to Arsenal. And he's gone, oh, what? More money? Yeah, sure. And I actually don't know that for sure. I actually don't know for sure because nothing's been confirmed about the contract he's signing. But we know he's being offered more money at Chelsea than he would have been at Arsenal. And let's be fair, right? If Mudryk's stance on this is, Arsenal took too long. I want to play in the Premier League. I want my big move. And Arsenal have been dilly-dallying. And Chelsea have paid up. And I'm happy to go there. Then I can only say fair enough. Whatever. But when Chelsea are playing and they're losing and the team don't look like they're fully in it and they're not putting in that fight and it's just not really happening for them, you wonder why those players aren't giving their absolute all. And it's because the key to a serious, long-term, successful club that doesn't just win the odd fluky Champions League. The last one wasn't that fluky, but 2012 was. That doesn't just, they've had a lot of success, Chelsea, but the way to build long-term, serious success is like City and Liverpool, which is we want that player. And if we can't really get them or they're happy to go elsewhere, then they don't really want to be here. Let's get the players that really genuinely want to be at our clubs. And then you have long-term success. That's how you build the kind of rapport within the squad that you need and want. That is how you build something special. Now, Mudryk might come in and give his all, and fair play if he does. May I say, by the way, I think he's a supremely talented player. I'm not for 1 second taking away from Chelsea that they've gone and brought in a player of his quality, and nor do I think he'll be bad for them. I think he'll be really good for them. I really wish Arsenal had got him. But all this sort of let's copy each other's homework. Let's go for Rafinha because Arsenal and Barcelona want him. Let's go for Cucurella because Man City want him. Let's now go for Mudryk. Let's go for Jesus. Let's go for Richarlison. This kind of scattergun, let's go for other people's players approach is not going to have the long-term success they think it's going to have. Why do they say that they think it's going to have? Because he's talked about long-term projects. Apparently they're signing in the age range that sort of suits what Chelsea want to do for a long-term project. Nonsense. Look at the players that want to come to Chelsea. Look at the best you can get in that market. Bring them in. Ask Graham Potter, who do you want? And bring him in. None of this screams Graham Potter. João Felix looks a player who can benefit under a player like under a manager like Graham Potter. Seems that kind of profile. Maybe Mudryk is too. But I don't believe that he has sat there, Boehly, and gone, listen, Potter, who do you want? Who do you want? And we'll do our best to make it happen for you. I don't believe that for 1 second. So what have they ended up with? Well, an extremely expensive front line. Kai Havertz, 72 million. Ziyech, what, 40, 50? Sterling, 50. João Felix, expensive loan. Pulisic, don't get me started on the Aubameyang deal. Really, really expensive front line. But for all the criticism, I do think Mudryk gets into this team. I do think with Felix leading the line and then Sterling and Mudryk as well either side, I think that's a front three that's gonna gel. That's gonna do well. I think you got pace in there. You got players who are good on the ball. You can interchange. They can all play in the front three, right, left, or down the middle. I think they'll do well. I've got to say that. Look, Chelsea fans. The pressure's up now. What if it wasn't before for the summer window? It is now. You got to know that every defeat, rival fans are going to enjoy that a little bit more. Everything Todd Boehly does now is looked at with an extra magnifying glass on it. Everyone's looking at that a little bit closer, what Todd Boehly does, because this team, even this season, with the money spent, should be finishing in the top four. Sorry, I don't care where you are in the league right now. Chelsea should be finishing in the top four. With what they spent last summer, the changes they've made, the introduction of a new manager, the signings they've made in January, they should be finishing in the top four. I'm sorry. And if they don't, that's a failure for me. And then next season, they should be challenging for the title, finishing nowhere below the top two. I really believe that. You spend this kind of money, that's the kind of expectation. I'm going to give Chelsea fans credit. They are holding their clubs to those serious standards. Fair enough. But I think this season, fans are just going to have fun with this. Unless Chelsea get good. And I will say, if Chelsea get into the top four, or they turn things around, or they win some silverware, I think he's probably got his eyes on the Champions League, old Todd Boehly. I think if they're able to have success in terms of winning trophies or getting into the top four, which I wouldn't classify success, but I think that's the bare minimum they've got to do, then I'll say, fair enough. You put your money where your mouth is, you brought in some serious players, and you gave Chelsea the best chance of doing that. I wish Arsenal would give Arteta the best chance at a title shout, but if you don't, banter club. I don't really use that term often. Didn't feel very natural me saying it. But that is just unfortunately the way it will be. The higher you aim, the further you fall, and Chelsea are falling far. But they've got in a very, very good player. So let's see how he does. I'm going to leave it there. Let me know your thoughts on another crazy Chelsea transfer saga. Arsenal have missed out. I'm disappointed, but I'm going to give my thoughts on all that on AFTV probably tomorrow before the North London derby. So we'll leave it there. All right. What a window.